Joining me now from Chicago is the chair of the Texas Democratic Party, Kendall Scudder. So thanks for rolling with us here. Things are a little volatile. You know it well. So
sometimes I got to deal with a couple of nuts.
Yes, it's part of it. We understand that, and we can roll with it. The Texas House, as you know, just voted to authorize arrest warrants. That's what we were trying to explain to our audience. That would compel members to return. This comes as the governor is threatening to use fines, to remove people from office, to prosecute Texas Democrats who left the state. So tell me, what is the reaction from you and your colleagues? What consequences are you prepared to withstand if the governor goes through with those threats?
Well, Greg Abbott is just looking at Donald Trump and saying, I learned it from you, Dad. He's being a wannabe authoritarian. Let's make no mistake about what's actually happening right now. What's actually happening is Republicans are doing everything that they can to avoid accountability for their actions. This special session was supposed to be about flood relief. 137 Texans are dead. They've had one hearing on flood relief. They've had 7 on political districts. They are playing political games with people's lives because they know that the electorate is ready to hold them accountable for what they've done. They have gutted Medicaid and Medicare. They have passed the largest tax increase on working class families in our lifetime. They're pushing tariffs that are making life more unaffordable. They're shutting down rural hospitals. And just last week, they started talking publicly about privatizing Social Security. So to make sure they're not held accountable for their actions, they are going to try to rig the game and steal the 2026 midterm elections away from the voters. Texas Democrats are not going to let it happen.
Have you and your colleagues work through what it might mean if you were arrested, if you return to Texas, or if there are other consequences like these mounting fines?
These Texas Democratic legislators are heroes, and they are doing this at great personal expense because they believe in this republic. They are patriotic Americans doing what it takes to defend democracy. For 10 years, Democrats have been campaigning saying that we are the great defenders of democracy. Now is the time to put up or shut up. And Texas Democrats are showing you that we know how to fight. They are ready for whatever it takes to make sure that they are meeting this moment because Texas Democrats are ready to fight.
If we look back a few years, this kind of thing has played out before where the governor is able to call special sessions. He did that in 2021. Democrats returned to the state after 6 weeks. So that's a long time. How long are Texas Democrats prepared to stay outside of Texas for this fight?
I think that that's a decision of maybe a joining of the country and the governor. I hope people around the country will consider going to TexasDemocrats.org to support this redistricting defense fund so that we can help afford to stay out. I mean, these folks have jobs. They have families. They want to take their kids to the first day of school today. But they're here because it's the right thing to do, and they've signed up to help be on the front lines here. The governor also, he could have made a decision to work with us on these types of items. We could be in Austin right now working on flood relief to make sure that families don't have to go through the failure of Republican government that went through and killed 137 Texans in this disaster that happened earlier in July. They're choosing not to do that. They're choosing to play political games. And if Republicans want to play that game, Democrats are here to fight back.
And are you prepared for the political consequences? Obviously, Democrats are in the minority in Texas. There may be voters who would seek to punish at the ballot box Democrats who left the state during this time. How do you see that playing out?
Voters see through this. Voters know that what is happening right now is that the richest people in this country are hijacking our government and trying to avoid accountability so that they can just pickpocket every one of us and run this government unencumbered. We are not going to allow that to happen. One of the great heroes of Texas, General Sam Houston, has a famous quote, "Do what's right and risk the consequences." That's what Texas Democrats are doing.
When you talk about doing what's right, at what point is there a concern Democrats would cede the moral high ground by leaving the state and blocking the sort of, the operation of your own state government? Where is that moral high ground line?
There are emergency powers under the governor. He has the ability to do these things right now, and he's not doing it because he wants to use these floods as a political tool. So what I would say to the governor is if he wants to deal with flood mitigation, then do it. What are you waiting for? Why are you holding it up so that you can use it as a political pawn in this situation right now? This is absolutely unacceptable governing, and the governor should be held accountable for what he's doing. He is running amok on the entire system of government, and we will not be a part of it.
When you see national Democrats like the governors of New York and Illinois, Kathy Hochul, J.B. Pritzker, talking about Democrats fighting fire with fire, using some of these same tactics when it comes to redistricting, do you think the Democratic voters will stand for that, or do they view that as simply doing what the other side is doing?
Democrats want nonpartisan redistricting committees. And the problem is that Democrats in blue states have been doing that and putting themselves at a disadvantage while Republicans have been carving up their states. Now, I know that Democrats have carved up some of their states as well, but I'm saying that states like California that are large vote totals for Democrats, they have been passing nonpartisan redistricting committees. I think that what has to happen is that these blue states need to carve up their states into oblivion to make sure that these Republicans see why we need federal nonpartisan redistricting committees. It is the only way for the people to take this government back so that they can hold their elected officials accountable. Right now, these districts are drawn such that it protects every one of these electeds so that they never have to face consequences when they do something wrong. Whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, if you're doing something the voters don't like, you should have to be held to account for that. And that's why we want national nonpartisan redistricting committees. Until we get that, Texas Democrats are going to use whatever tool we have at our disposal to make sure that Donald Trump and his administration have to be held accountable during the 2026 midterm for what they've done.
We will be following these fast-moving developments with you, with your colleagues, with the lawmakers who have moved beyond the state borders. Thank you for your insights on this. We'll check back with you in the coming days as this continues to unfold. Kendall, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.